Eddie, you forgot about Venom. When you did your Marvel timeline, you forgot about Venom. Eddie, you stupid bitch.
Alright, okay, what's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and I get it, okay? I'm sorry, okay? Listen, I forgot about Venom, Let There Be Carnage. I forgot about Venom, The Last Dance. I thought I would have watched them before I did my Marvel timeline, okay? I just didn't, okay? I forgot about them. I was doing the Marvel timeline, and I forgot to watch I forgot to watch Venom: The Last Dance, okay? I forgot to watch it. So I've watched it now, and the review for that's coming out tomorrow. Also, I know a lot of you commented saying that I missed Black Widow. Don't worry, I'm on that as well. Black Widow's coming at some point. I missed 3 Marvel movies, okay? Fucking forgive me. I fucked up, alright? I'm saying that right now. I am admitting my mistake. I'm admitting it. I'm saying it. I missed 3 movies. Chill. Right. Cool. Now that that's out the way, let's get into what Google has to say. So Venom: Let There Be Carnage is a 2021 film. It's an action sci-fi and it is 1 hour and 37 minutes. It is a 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb and 58% of Rotten Tomatoes. You can watch it on Google Play or Amazon Prime.
Eddie Brock tries to revive his failing career by interviewing a serial killer, Cletus Cassidy, who is on death row. When Carnage gains control over Cletus' body, he escapes from prison. Eddie, you stupid fuck.
Right, cool. So, how the story actually goes, because Google doesn't do a good job at explaining it, is Eddie is not dealing very well with Venom. Like they're trying to co-host, trying to coast through life. Venom is trying to be very helpful, but he's being overly helpful. They're trying to be the lethal protector, going out at night, being like a vigilante, and it isn't really working out very well. So they go in to eat chickens and chocolate, because that's the only thing that keeps Venom alive, other than human brains, which is a fucking wild, by the way. The only thing that can keep Venom alive is chocolate, chickens, and human brain. That is wild, okay? That is wild to me. But anyway, he goes to interview Cletus, and Cletus ends up cutting Eddie and seeing that he has something wrong with him, which is Venom. And a little bit of Venom actually gets into the blood of Cletus, and he licks that shit up, and it fuses and bonds together to create Carnage. Now, I've read the Carnage comic books, so I don't know how Carnage actually comes into fruition. I don't know how Carnage actually exists, but he's the red one. He's the red one. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Carnage. He isn't my favorite symbiote. I much prefer Venom. Venom is my favorite. I love Venom. He's cool as fuck. So, seeing him here, being an absolute badass, being an absolute unit, being lethal protector is cool. But we have a bigger focus on Eddie and Venom's relationship rather than them being superheroes. And it has them constantly fighting, constantly arguing, not getting along at all, and then Venom fucking off, leaving Eddie, and Eddie being quite miserable and upset, missing him. We then have Venom going into a nightclub, having a fucking party, being a DJ, living life, doing everything that he wants to do, realizing that he can't live without Eddie, like, sustainably. He keeps killing his hosts. So he ends up going to find Mrs. Chen. Mrs. Chen brings Eddie back, well, brings Venom back to, Eddie's girlfriend, which is wild, and Eddie's girlfriend jumps into action and gives the symbiote back to Eddie. Alright, they then go in because Cletus is obviously calling Eddie to come back, making Eddie come into fighting, come into action, and Cletus actually breaks out of prison with his crush, with his girlfriend, which is Scream, because she has a supersonic scream, and obviously if you're a fan of symbiotes, you know that they don't like fire, and you know they don't like loud noises. So having your girlfriend have supersonic screech as their power isn't the fucking best thing when you have a symbiote. So Carnage tries to kill her. Cletus doesn't like that, and he starts to fight back, which gives Venom an opening to attack, and Carnage is swelling, growing huge, taking over a church, and Venom fucks him up and defeats him, which I think is cool as fuck, leaving Cletus alone and put back in prison along with Scream. I think Scream dies. I think. Also, one of the cops die as well, which is unfortunate. Other than that, I think the story is pretty interesting. I do like how it takes a little bit of a turn from a superhero movie into a little bit of a sort of relationship love story between a little bit of a bromance between Venom and Eddie, having it explore their sort of more personal life instead of their superhero life, and seeing what they do outside of being lethal protector. I quite like that sort of vision, and I quite like them doing that because it makes them more realistic, it makes them more human, makes them more connectable, and people don't always get along 24/7. When you move in with a partner, when you move in with friends, you will have your sort of quirks that you work out. You'll have kinks that you'll have to work out. You'll have these issues which you didn't expect. So that's what they're doing. They need a little bit of growing room, a little bit of connection room to see how each other functions, what each other needs to sort of coexist in this situation. And it just brings their connection, like, it makes them closer on a whole deeper level, and it's just really cool. It's a really nice bromance, not gonna lie, and I quite like that connection. Cletus is an absolute fucking menace, and there is a whole deeper meaning with how they use their symbiosis, which I think is really fucking cool. How Cletus changes into Carnage is his body like rips apart and morphs, alright? How Eddie turns into Venom is it sort of protects him like a bodysuit. And with that, there is clear character design details, so there's clearly thought and effort being put into these movies, and that's why I think this trilogy is the best trilogy Sony's put out, live action wise, because it can't compare to Spider-Verse. I'm sorry, it just can't. And I think it is really interesting, really cool, and really detailed, with like just shows their differences, with Venom and Eddie being compatible and working together, and being two separate people working together, and Cletus fighting for control with Carnage, and how they're sort of not like one person, how it's just fighting for control like a Jekyll and Hyde situation. And I think that's really interesting, just pointing that out there. That's one of my favorite things about this movie. Sort of my favorite things. Other than that, the animation CGI is really good. Carnage absolutely causes carnage. Like, you cannot say he doesn't. Like, he fucking kills so many people. He sets the bar. Like, when he is first fully introduced, he goes absolutely fucking crazy. He goes fucking mental. And he kills the prison guards, the prisoners, and even other police officers trying to break out, and it just sets the sort of scope for how strong he is and for the limits that he's gonna go to. Like, he has no sort of limits. Like, he will do whatever it fucking takes to get what he wants. And that is a really good opening for his character, because it just shows you what he's capable of, and it shows you what he's gonna do, and it shows you that he has no limits like Venom does. Venom has like humanity to him. Venom has limits. He won't do certain things because they don't agree with his morals. That's the word I'm looking for, morals. However, that gets thrown out the window, because even Venom is scared of Eddie, and not Eddie. Even Venom's scared of Carnage, and it seems to be a recurring theme throughout these movies where Venom and Eddie will get separated, and they have to find a way to get back together and work together as a team, and it makes their bond strong. Happened in the first one, happened in the second one, and I've seen the third one. Sorry to spoil the illusion, but it happens in the third one as well. And we also have another thing which recurs through all three of these movies, which is Venom being scared of the bad guy. Like Venom, he's scared of Riot. Riot is stronger than Venom. Carnage is stronger than Venom. These alien freaks are symbiote killers, alright? They're designed to kill symbiotes. So every time Venom is depicted as the underdog, which makes you care for him, makes you root for him more, and makes you sort of scared for them, because it is always shown as they're the weaker ones who have to rise up to the occasion, the ones that have to rise up to the villain, get stronger, evolve, and take out the bad guy. They always manage to do it, because the fights don't really impact their feelings. Like, how they feel is like, oh, Venom's the weaker one, Venom's scared, Venom isn't prepared. That isn't shown through the fights. The fights are sort of there with like these big villains being these like bigger characters with more like maneuverability and like better weapons, but Venom always finds a way to overcome that with like very basic stuff, which doesn't really give the satisfying conclusion that he has really done anything to earn this sort of growth, except for being separated from Eddie for the millionth time. I'm gonna be honest, I still like this franchise, I still like these movies, I still like these characters. Like, some of these sort of minor nitpicks, I'm not gonna completely destroy my thoughts and opinions of these characters. I'm not gonna destroy my thoughts and opinions on these movies, but it is just some of the things that I have to notice and that I do have to take consideration in when sort of reviewing a movie. I still like this movie, I still think it's a cool movie to turn your brain off to and watch and have a good time, and I think that's what the Venom movies are. You don't need to fully overanalyze them, you don't need to take them like as deep as what some people do. They don't take themselves that seriously. I'm gonna be honest, Venom does not take himself seriously. These characters know they're not that serious and always joke around, and even in the serious moments, it's not that serious. Like, it's very jokey and very sort of breaks the tension with comedy, and they know that. So because they're aware of it, I think that they can get away with it. So this movie, solid 8 out of 10. Solid 8 out of 10.